Okay. Jeez, this one's kind of long.
Come on, man.
Oh man. Okay, ready for this?
Always.
Yeah.
Ooh. Am I the asshole for ghosting a girl who didn't want to date me but wanted to stay friends afterwards?
Not at all.
Right off bat, I'm thinking, yo, what are you talking about, bro? You're not
Just
the
let him cook.
asshole. Let's hear what he has to say. There might be some simping involved. I know how much
you
you
may
hate
sound crazy
simping.
right now.
No, I just don't think men and women can be friends. That's a story for another time.
Whoa,
Sit in the camera.
whoa.
Nah,
Yo, interesting take.
I'm just saying
Interesting take.
Do you know what I just heard?
What?
All your coworkers are watching right now. You guys not really friends. All your female coworkers.
No, we're friends, but there's
No.
you know. Yo, start it. Yo, start.
I'm not associated with his nature.
Yo, do your thing.
All right. I met her about 6 months ago. I thought she was really attractive and we hit it off. Flirty behavior, her touching me, her asking the group who he is he single, etc. So I thought there was something there. So her group of friends invited me to hang out with them one day. The group would hang out approximately often 2 to 3 times a week. So for the next couple of weeks, I hang out with this group. During these events, I thought this girl was into me. We would dance together. She would jump on my back and I would give her a piggyback ride. A couple weeks into this, I asked her if she wanted to go out on a date with me and she said no. I was taken aback by her answer. She said she didn't want to lose me as a friend, so then she said she would go out to dinner with me, but just as friends. I told her I'm not naive. I can take no for an answer and I've been rejected before. If she wants to be friends, I can still be friends. So from then, she started to ask me to hang out with the same frequency as before. At first, I didn't want to be the nice guy who just wanted to hang out with her just because I didn't want her friends to know that I got rejected and I kept wanting to hang out with the group. I didn't even see my best friends as much as I saw her, as I started to see her more and more. During this time, she became really flirty. When she would hang out with my friends, when she would hang out with her friends, they'd even comment about it, of how noticeably attached to it she is to me. A noticeable incident during this time was one time when we were supposed to hang out as a group, but everyone bailed and just ended up being me and her. She wasn't really happy. She wasn't happy. I started inviting other people to hang out with us. I think her words were, "No, don't invite her. I just want to hang out with you tonight." I thought maybe she didn't know how she felt, so I asked one of her friends about it and I learned that she had a crush on someone else. So I ended up dropping the whole thing. After this, I started to get over my crush on her and realized that we're not that compatible after all. Her and her friend groups, which are nice people, aren't the type of friends that I normally hang out with after all. We just have different interests. I would only do something with the group if they were doing an activity that I would want to do, but I wouldn't just do something with them just to hang with them. With this realization, I started rejecting hanging out with her group when there was conflict or if I didn't want to do the activity that they were trying to do. During this time, this girl would continuously text me day of, before, and after the fact, and I would keep up with my replies, although she'd stop replying altogether. Some of the messages she started to send at first were extremely weird. Examples would be, "I miss your face. Oh, you look really happy in your story. I miss your laughter. We're hanging out together tonight. No, we're going to hang out tonight, but I'm going to be thinking of you." I really stopped responding to these messages, but I'm still getting them once a week now, after some time has passed. No one else is getting these messages in her group, her friend group. So what is the verdict? Does she like me? Should I stay away? Am I an asshole?
Yo, he is such a conniving little person.
Whoa.
Shut your mouth.
No, because I see it as like, okay, by all means, he was interested in her, right?
Yeah.
And she has every right to turn him down. Okay?
Yeah.
That's her haq. That's her right, right? But for her to still keep that energy and not only keep the energy, but kind of add fire to it, she became more flirty. She wanted to hang out more. She has no sympathy for the fact that this man just gave you all his feelings and you rejected it in front of his face, you know?
Mhm.
And not only that, but you're basically hitting salt on the wound where you're not giving him time to recover. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's right for her to be this close to him when you rejected him in general, you know? And to that point, I think it may look salty on his part that he didn't want to be friends with that friend group anymore, because in actuality, it's probably because, like he said, they're just not compatible. You know, like I don't really do what they do. Why am I going to hang out with them more than I should? But from her eyes, it may look like or were you only hanging out with me because you were interested in me?
Mhm.
You know.
Mhm.
So I think she's in the wrong in the situation because she kept adding fire to it and making him think that there's still a possibility when reality she was actually interested in someone else, you know?
Yeah.
Because if a girl is telling me, hey, let's chill on our own, when I try to invite other people, my guy mind is thinking she's interested in me. Why would somebody want to chill with me solo dolo? You know?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what makes like I don't think his mind process was wrong. I just think she was wrong for making him think what they are is more than what they actually are. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
That's poetic.
Fair enough.
Appreciate you, brother.
Come on, man.
What I do.
Let them know.
He
No,
was
I
there.
think she before they even exposed the crush thing, I think she was just keeping him as a backup plan the
Mm.
entire time. But
Interesting.
then the friends exposed that,
Mhm.
like, oh, she's trying to get someone else, so he let the whole thing go. But she's still trying to keep him as a reserve, just in case this other thing doesn't work out. She can go with him. As a, oh, this guy's I'll settle for him.
Sure.
I don't think as a young person you're not really thinking about if you're on the chase, you're on the run the whole time, men or women, you're not thinking about the other person's feeling. Well, you don't really have when that's not the main choice. You're not thinking about the reserves feeling, and that's a lot of things. I don't think she's an asshole for that. I think she's just immature.
Right.
When she gets some experience, she gets some time, she will start realizing, oh, he may have been the better choice, and I was just playing him.
Yeah.
Because we all, to a certain extent, have that person in the past that we thought, yo, this would be a good person, but I'm not ready for that right now, or that person was not ready for me right now.
Mm.
But to a certain extent, we thought of that person as an ideal person for us, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
I think that's where she is, where she just, because we didn't get their ages, they could be young adults. We were just trying to chase, trying to run, trying to find someone just to be with,
Yeah.
just to be with somebody. And I think that's what she's caught in the middle of. He's not wrong for ghosting her, because why are you wasting people's time?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Let the man move on.
Something you had me remember is a lot of people get drunk off the feeling of knowing somebody in close proximity likes them.
Exactly.
You know, like knowing that X person is interested in me, even though I'm not interested in them, it just boosts my ego, you know? And everybody, I'm sure, had that situation. But what I don't think she's doing well is letting him heal.
Yeah.
Because when you tell somebody you like them and they reject you, in my opinion, the best thing to do is cut off all contact
Mhm.
and let yourself recoup. Because you just, not to say you got your heart broken, but one pathway that you thought was going to lead to your future just got broken.
Right.
So you need time to reconnect and understand where your life is going to go now, you know?
Mhm.
I don't think she gave him that time, like that peace of mind, and just kept adding fire to it. Like, yo, let's chill more. Let's do this more. Let's be more flirty, you know? In his mind, he's trying to connect the dots. Like, do you not like me or not? You
Mhm.
know? So I think she was also getting drunk off that. You know what I mean?
I 100% agree. And not to mention, I think you hit it right on the money. I think since I took it right off face value that the names weren't mentioned or the ages weren't mentioned in the
Mhm.
story. So just based off of the wording and how it was written and phrased, I think these people are either teenagers or they're young adults.
Yeah.
You know, so they are pretty young. I feel like they're just getting their first few experiences of relationships, dating, and whatnot. And there's a learning curve, on both sides. I think the person who's writing the story learned a valuable lesson on the types of girls there might be out there. Some girls are more, you know, they more so tend to seek attention from guys rather than connection with guys,
Mm-hmm.
and that could lead somebody astray, could lead somebody into like weird way of thinking about people. But he's also learning that there should be some separation, like you're saying. Once you do realize that this person is not going to be with you, or the person you're interested is not interested back, you should disconnect to some degree,
Yeah.
right? And for him to realize that after the fact, after hanging out with these people, and after realizing that this friend group is not for him, I think he's just now realizing that, okay, you know what, I got myself into a little sticky situation here, but I can get myself out. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so the learning aspect in this story would be that there are going to be, from a guy's perspective, there are going to be women in your life that you probably come across that don't have your best interest in mind and that are basically just in it for themselves, trying to gain off of you in any way they can. And you have to be aware of that, You are going to develop feelings for these types of people, some maybe for a long period of time, maybe for a short period of time, but you still have to be able to navigate those feelings into reality and realize what's there for you and what's not there for you, right? So, in this sense, I don't think this person is an asshole. I just think that they're just a little immature. Both of these people in this story are just a little too immature, but
Fuck.
this is a learning.
What do you do?
I mean, he's still like thinking about it, like a normal, rational person, like you were saying, would just be like, all right, she's not for me, doesn't want me, I'll move on. But since he's writing the story, he's conflicted about how he's been talking to her or she's been talking to him. I feel like he still thinks in his mind that there could be a chance.
Yeah.
And I think that realization needs to come to him like, yo, just, it's better, it's in your best interest to stay away from this girl because she's doing all these things. And that's going to hurt you down the line anyway. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
For sure.
I'm just saying that way of thinking is the maturity that people get when they have experiences in relationships.
Yeah.
This is for me. This isn't for me. I like this. I don't like this. There's probably somebody that girl is going to come across in her life that will be accepting of all her, her features, everything that she does, her personality, her attitude, but it's just not this guy.
Yeah.
And that realization is tough, especially at a young age, because you're like, what did I do wrong? You start to blame yourself probably, but it's a learning lesson. So I don't think that this guy's an asshole. I don't think that even the girl's an asshole. I just think that they're just a little immature, and they just have some life to live, So in time, this will fix itself, but I don't think there's anything that guy needs to feel guilty about or anything like that. He just caught himself in a weird situation. It happens.
No, one thing, just the last thing I'll add on as well, something you said. I think we had a discussion early on in this podcasting, and me and him, we were talking about people like when you start a podcast, the people you come across and put temporary guests and things like that. And one thing I learned within the last couple of years is that there's a lot of temporary people in your life,
Right.
and there's going to be, like, to relate it to a show, there's going to be someone, a character that's just for that season, and then next season he's gone. And I think as you age and as you gain experience, just in relationships in general, whether it's business relationship, friends, romantic relationships, family, not family, but the rest of the relationship, you're gonna realize people are temporary. You can learn from the experience, gain as much as you can, because everyone has something to teach you. In this case, he learned from that.
Yeah.
She taught him that what you need to have, that, like, just like you said, it's gonna add salt to the wound if you keep on hanging out and trying to go over some immature psychology. Like, you're gonna realize, oh, this girl's not mature. Let me get up out of here. Why am I wasting time? Even her friends are making comments about it, and is still keeping him in that field. So relationships are temporary. Like, we've been together for 15 to 20 plus years, and you start seeing some of your personalities in the other person, or someone you love's personality in the other person, that will make them stick around longer.
Yeah.
Just note down those key aspects of a person, whether it's a friend, business relationship, or romantic relationship. Look for characteristics you're looking for, and that will help the process go much more easier. Because some people look for the mother in the girl that they're trying to woo, gain a romantic relationship, because certain characteristics from their mother the girl will have as well.
Fair enough.
Very well said.
I'll also play,
Appreciate it, bro.
I'm going to also very quickly just play devil's advocate, because I've seen this happen so many times. Like, this guy specifically, just staying on topic of the scenario we're in, this guy, in my opinion, could potentially get this girl, but he would have to sacrifice parts of his personality to do so, and may not recover from that. I've seen this happen so many times. Like, a good guy would be interested in a girl who's probably not his best compatible, person, and that relationship will just completely change the person, and morph their personality, their characteristics, and all that stuff. It happens so often.
Very often.
I'm just saying, like, bro, if you want to get her, you can still get her. The table's not,
Very often.
table's not clear yet. Just go out, do your thing, do your dirty macking.
Yeah. There was a time I hid the fact that I liked anime, fam.
Oh man,
because there's a time frame where people.
I was the guy. I was the bully. I was the bully. I was
so then I was like, yo, what's that, bro?
What do you?
It helped me a lot better in situations, but then right now I don't care anymore. Like, I have to tell people.
You can fake it till you make it. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Like, if you really want to get her, if she's that bad to you, bro, you could do it.
Right.
Just saying, anything's possible. healthcare possible.
Man brought a Kim Possible.
Yo, you got it, bro. You got it.
Yeah, I'm dead. Okay.
But I guess we can leave it at that. That's
Yeah. So asshole result.
I would say not the asshole.
Not the asshole.
So we all agree, not the
But with a
asshole.
small tidbit of can be the asshole, I can win this if you really wanted to. So just
Yeah,
put it
fair
on,
enough.
just put it
Fair
out there. I don't recommend it, but it's out there.